That's so funny. We've just been sitting here yapping because
I don't push that button.
You always push this.
No, I push start streaming.
Okay,
That's the
well,
one. Not that one.
something is always on. Umo, Young, Arco, Chris,
try again.
Jacob. I know. Let's try this again. That was hilarious.
Oh, y'all missed the Happy Ticino.
Happy Wednesday. I was saying happy to see you, and Courtney thought I was saying happy Ticino, which is a Filipino delicious breakfast. But
quite delicious.
As with breakfast, you can have it anytime. Hi, Thrish.
It is so warm in here. Oh my goodness gracious.
It's a little warm.
It's a little warm, yeah.
How's our Wednesday? That works as well. Happy to see now. I think I need this. Hi, Wade.
I like it.
Good evening, cinema collectivists. That's right. We have a really fun episode for you. Today is our season finale of season 5. Happy Casino! This is kind of like the hotkey puck, and
oh my goodness.
I'm fine with this.
I like it.
I'm happy. I'm happy with how this works. Can we get that as a sticker? I would like that.
I took all my papers away because I'm trying to be organized. Ah! Okay, wait.
Don't worry. I have this. Bang.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, I'm Ashley. This is Courtney. We are CA in LA. Courtney and Ashley in Los Angeles. We're best friends, filmmakers, musicians.
And variety streamers.
And as aforementioned, we have a really packed episode. We've got a bunch of news. We're going to be talking about what the heck the Criterion Collection is, because there's some movies that are coming out. There's a really, really big movie that I think went really well with all of y'all, a lot of you. And we're going to talk about the Criterion Collection. We're going to talk about some of the winners at Cannes. We're going to talk about the updates on the Warner Brothers merger, because a lot happened this week. And we're going to talk about new releases. And we filmed a new short film 2 weeks ago called Spicy Monster. We ended up actually making a piece dedicated to it in Pottery last night, and it was
excited.
Some of the most joyous responses to any of our work that I've ever heard in our class.
Dana laughed, and she laughed.
Yeah. So
the most you get out of her is a chuckle. So it was a very big deal.
Yeah.
And we're really excited.
Yeah. So we're going to be talking
about
Ticino. Spicy Monster and yeah.
And the prep, because this prep, unlike, or I guess just like all the other prep, it just depends per project. And our workflows are ever changing. So I'm excited to share with you guys what's different.
That's right.
Yeah.
Where? Is that a question, Arco? I'm sorry, I missed it. Okay.
Oh, excuse me.
I was like, bless you, thank you. None of the above, but blessings.
Thank you.
So last week we talked about film news, and then Courtney did a deep dive on Frame.io. I learned a lot about how my workflows can be better, and we hope that it was really informative as well.
That's what we hope for.
That's right. Get sleep back.
Workflows, yeah. Get your sleep back and lose less hair.
We do enjoy losing less hair.
Yeah.
Personally, especially as we get older.
Since I fumbled the challenge, it was the same as it was the week before. I've watched something and pay attention to a specific area of production, and I'm actually very thankful that happened.
Yeah. What did you do for homework, Courtney?
So Ashley talked about this film last week, saying that it was coming out, and we watched it for production design. I am so thankful that this was the one for production design, because they did an exceptional job. One of the best uses of production design, I think. I don't want to say the best, but it is up there. The concept of the movie really worked in their production design. It was stupendous.
Yeah. So
excellent.
Don't want to give away too much, but in crafting a world that doesn't exist and imagining it existing, I thought that they did a fantastic job.
Yes.
So I highly recommend, just for a really fun watch, but then also the production design, the costume design, just really, really well done. Performances are great.
It's very, very good. And I had to lose some hair. It just got too hot. Intentional loss is, good.
It happens.
Good.
And Thrish says some of us don't have hair to lose, so win-win.
Okay, but then we'll say we we don't add any extra stress wrinkles, maybe.
That's right.
Maybe we'll say that.
No stress wrinkles. But it's fine if we have them.
We have plenty.
Umo, can you still feel the wind? That's really important.
Insert Umo's hair.
So our chat question for you to get started is, you get to have lunch with one character. Who is that character? My brother would definitely be Ben Affleck's character in The Accountant.
Oh.
He loves that movie.
You know, that makes a lot of sense.
He loves that movie so much. Just a little loose. Chris says, I need to lose some hair. Thrish, stress wrinkles on the top of my head instead of hair. Interesting concept. Yeah. Think about
You decide where they're at.
Umo says to Argo, we'll see if it goes when it blows.
Oh my goodness.
I like the alliteration there. Beautiful. Who would you have lunch with?
You know, I feel like, okay, it's gotta be Joy post Jobu and Everything Everywhere, because she's found some hacks to like really wrangle what's going on up here.
Ooh, I like
and
that.
I would really like to hear that insight.
Okay.
Like when you need to be really in something, what is that? I feel like that would help the ADHD quite a bit.
I love that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Great choice.
Thank
Yeah.
you. What about you?
Yeah. I'm going to go with a twofer, and it has to be just like they're one entity, and it would be Barb and Star.
Oh,
Yeah.
excellent.
Yeah, just I feel like there would be a lot of laughs, and the stories would be great. So
Lots of questions.
yeah, just a lot of curiosity.
Get the hot dog soup recipe.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really great.
Ask about how decorating tips are.
Thrish wants to have lunch with Tina.
Ooh,
Which Tina? Crocheted flamingo Tina?
Tina's hilarious.
Or robot Tina?
They would be fun to have lunch with. Yeah.
And Chris says, Hagrid from Harry Potter. I feel like he just really wants a friend and we could talk animals.
Love that.
That's great.
Love that.
Young Pal says, Daryl Dixon. Okay.
Okay. Umo says Mr. Bean would be fun.
And why have you chosen Daryl Dixon as well? Mr. Bean.
Hi, Tommy. Hi, Kerr. How's it
Hi,
going?
welcome in.
Happy Wednesday.
We're just answering our chat question of if you get to have lunch with one character, who is it?
Crochet Tina can come.
Okay, we'll give Crochet Tina to Robot Tina. I like it.
I do think Robot Tina would be really hilarious to have a conversation with.
You just get her laughing.
I don't know.
Your whole lunch would be interrupted. And everyone else's as well.
Oh, bless her. We love her. Can we believe that movie was 2 years ago? I can't.
No, I cannot.
We made a movie called Mommy Issues, and there is a robot Tina, and she's funny. She's a vibe. We love her.
She's a vibe.
Yeah. Would love to see your continued answers in chat, but we're going to jump into what's new on streaming so that we can see all of this work that Courtney's prepared. And Wade, maybe we'll be able to get Courtney started by 11:34. I don't know. It could be crazy.
And maybe you'll get me to a point like you did last time where I forgot what I was going to show you because I didn't write it down, thinking that, of course, I'm going to remember this one. And then I got to it. And I didn't remember what it was.
Tommy, we are doing really, really well. A lot of great news. We've got a lot of synergy. We have a new song coming out really soon, and just getting visuals ready, getting assets ready for a vinyl release, and things are good. How are you doing? Thanks for asking. Oh, is a dangerous gamble.
I know. I learned. See, we learn week to week. We learn.
That's right. All right. So let's start out with World War II with Tom Hanks. I want to just draw light to this because on several platforms it says with Tom Hanks.
Interesting.
Yep. So it is with Tom Hanks, but I thought it was funny.
That is the fact that you said it's on multiple is a choice.
It was just like World War II with Tom Hanks, and I was like, ooh. the Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks.
Good, just chilling today. Well, that's good.
I know. Finally, the
need a chill
History
day.
Channel is turning its eye towards World War II. That's right. With a 20 episodic series. 3 episodes are out now, and then the rest will be released weekly. But it is only available on the History Channel, and it's talking about World War II with Tom Hank or Hanks. Depends on where you're looking. Tom Hank. So I had no idea about this. Do you guys know that Nick Cage is starring in a noir Spider-Man concept? Because I feel like I would have seen this or heard about this somewhere other than it just getting dropped today. But here it is.
It's Ghost Rider with a mask.
It's 8 episodes, and it is Spider-Man in the 1930s, 1940s noir, which has Nick Cage's Spider-Man. I don't know. It seems really interesting, and you can watch it. Yeah, and it's on Prime. Yeah, wait, I had to message Chris and I was like, have you heard anything about this? Because I feel like Spider-Man, Nick Cage, and a noir, it would have been something. I know, Arco, I missed it. I missed it really big, but it looks interesting. And the other thing that's fascinating is that audiences did not react well to the fact that it was all in black and white. So you can actually watch it in black and white or in color. So there you go.
He voiced Spider-Man Noir in the Sony Into the Spider-Verse series. Okay, so this is not unfamiliar to people. Well, that's interesting, though, that it was received so poorly. If this is already, if it has a track record, I don't know. I feel like the fact that it is noir just makes sense to leave it in black and white, and you just have to get over it.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Wait, that's where I'm at. It's not on Disney. It's not on Hulu. It's on Prime. So I don't know. It is Marvel. Nick Cage, Spider-Man.
And Young Pal says, I've been watching The Walking Dead since I was 11, and I have so many questions about Daryl's character and how he can get out of any situation. Okay, so that's why he'd pick up. That's an excellent reason.
Yeah, for the
I wish
curiosity.
we could all just get to do this. It'd be fun.
Yeah, it would be great. Did it have Spider-Ham too?
Nah.
I'm not sure, Arco. I'm still just stuck on Nick Cage as Spider-Man. Yeah. Marvel equals, yeah, exactly, Wade. So I was really surprised. But Jacob, thank you for bringing in the fact that Nick Cage did voice Spider-Man Noir in the Sony Into the Spider-Verse.
I also do appreciate that they didn't just choose a Hollywood hunk. So I appreciate that.
Nick Cage is not a Hollywood hunk?
By standards of being young and buff, no, like he's middle-aged, and I really appreciate that. I think that's great.
I know there are weird Sony rights to Spider-Man. That makes sense. I wonder how this is, but it looks interesting. I wouldn't be opposed to watching an episode. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, Season 2. It's a mystery. It's 6 episodes, out now on Netflix, and it's following up from Season 1. It is for fans of Veronica Mars and One of Us is Lying. And did you know that there's a live-action Hardy Boys show?
What?
First off, if we're going to have live-action shows, where is Encyclopedia Brown? That's my question.
I totally agree.
Because we have Inspector Gadget, and we have the Hardy Boys. We had a Nancy Drew. I need an Encyclopedia Brown.
I think people liked him as Spider-Noir voice, so I guess that's why. Yeah, it makes sense. And Thur says, I was not expecting that. Yes, Jacob, I think as of No Way Home, Marvel bought the rights to Spider-Man back. It's possible. Lots of inner workings.
That's right. Criminal Minds Evolution Season 19 has started streaming on Paramount Plus tomorrow. 2 episodes will be released, and then it will be released on Thursdays. And so it's just following up on the last season, and it's already been renewed for another season. I can't believe they're on season 19.
I know.
Good for them, though.
Those shows just do well.
Hardy Boys is even a bit old for millennials. What? No, Thrish, what? I grew up on like Sweet Valley High, Babysitter's Club, Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew, Encyclopedia Brown. Ugh, loved him.
Wait, okay, so the Spider-Man noir thing was that movie or limited series?
It is an 8-episode
Okay.
series.
So Arco, yeah, you saying I thought it was a movie though. I'm much less interested in 8 hours of Spider-Nick.
Oh, come on. But you get Nick Cage as Spider-Man in the 1940s with a hat. Does it get better than that?
Did you guys watch
TBH.
Good Girls? No.
I don't know what the Hardy Boys is. It's like these brothers who are investigating things. Jacob, that totally makes sense. I had access to like a 1970s, 1980s library. And so when I was really young, I was reading things way above my level because
you were.
I would be bored and then they would be like, just go read a book. And so
They'd give her an encyclopedia.
Hardy Boys,
Right.
The OG true crime, if you will. We did not watch A Good Girl's Guide season 1. Did you, Wade? And if you did, what did you think?
Can I get a live action Magic School Bus? I need to see Miss Frizzle bench 405 for real. Chris.
I think the closest you're going to get is to Kate McKinnon voicing Miss Frizzle. Yeah, public libraries were all about the Hardy Boys. Yeah, I think that they started shifting over to Nancy Drew in my young adult section.
Yes,
But-
mine as well.
Definitely OG true crime.
Zennial's probably the cut for Hardy Boys. Yeah, probably. And hi, JC.
What's up, JC?
How was your day?
Happy Wednesday.
I heard Hardy Boys. My first thought is WWE.
That's relevant. Yeah,
yeah.
not wrong. 4 seasons, season 2. I don't want to give away what happens in season 1, but all you need to know is that carrying off season 1, where there's a huge event that happens on the finale, they're picking up. Now there's a baby on the way, and they have to reform and regroup as a group who goes on yearly vacations together.
Because now there's a screaming, pooping little human.
Yeah, so it's a
Involved.
comedy drama, 8 episodes. All episodes will be available as of tomorrow on Netflix. And this is for fans of ensemble comedies like Friends from College, New Girl, Running Point. It was completely watchable.
That is quite the description.
It is watchable. I could do it. I love that word. Hardy Boys were friends of Nancy Drew. That's how I remember them. That's right. They were side characters in Nancy Drew's story.
Yep.
Love that. Star City. So this is an offshoot in the For All Mankind universe. And it is for fans of sci-fi, political thrillers, or historical alt history epics. 2 episodes are going to be available as of Friday. And then the episodes will be released weekly on Fridays. And there's 8 episodes total on Apple TV. So if you're a fan of For All Mankind, check that out. Did I miss one? No, there we go. Okay, in theaters, we've got 4 films. Backrooms. So this is a horror film coming in at 1 hour 45. This ensemble is stacked, and it is very found footage based. It is the youngest director in A24 history. He's 20 years old, and it actually started inspired from a 4chan thread in 2019. But the crux of the film is a psychologist is forced to brave the unknown and venture into a mysterious alternate dimension to rescue one of her missing patients. Jacob is somewhat interested in Backrooms, and
The trailer was really interesting when we watched it. We were seeing the drama, and it played, and we were just like, okay, all right.
Hi, Bradley. How's it going?
Hi, welcome in.
Wade said anything with Carrie Kenny, daughter of voice actor Larry Kenny, is a must watch. Okay, so that's why you enjoyed the Ashley, come on, the Good Girl, the Good Girls show. Bradley, how's your Wednesday? Wade, I've heard nothing but extraordinary things about Backrooms. There's a lot of backing. There's a lot of support. I agree. There's been a lot of Kane Parsons slander simply because he's so young and just people love drama. So if you can put all of that aside, just go support independent filmmaking. It's an A24 film, so it's going to be unprecedented what happens. And it is based on modern day culture that happened on the internet. So check it out.
So check it out. Yes.
The original story is incredible. No, she's in 4 seasons. Okay. Thank you for the clarification.
Bradley, how's your day going? Welcome in.
The Breadwinner. So the Breadwinner is trying to bring back incompetent dad comedies. This is a family comedy about a man becoming a stay-at-home dad when a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity takes his wife on a prolonged business trip for 1 month. This does have a lot of Shark Tank-ness in it, but it's a comedy, it's a family comedy, and it is supposedly respecting how difficult of a job women have being moms. And it stars Mandy Moore.
Hey.
Here's our war film, Pressure. And it's talking about World War II. Surprise.
So real quick. Oh, wait. He's in 4 seasons. Got it. Copy that.
She's in 4 seasons.
Or she's in 4 seasons. Umo, I watched some of the YouTube videos he made as they came out. It was some nice tech maxing to get his ideas out. He made his ideas look really better than they had right to be. That's the beauty of cinema, isn't it? Is you're like, I had an idea, but then it just turns out way better. And amazing. People are claiming he didn't direct it, which is so crazy to me. There's a lot of talk about who actually directs a movie. For instance, if an editor does the entire thing and the director gives no notes, is it the editor's edit or is the director's edit? And so there's all of that.
See you soon, Chris.
Backroom seems interesting. Wednesday opening of Laylift. So excited. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I bet.
Yeah.
So happy for you guys.
Okay. Pressure, Brendan Fraser, World War II, war. And then Tuner, this is really interesting. This is the narrative debut from the director of Navalny. So fascinating. And then both actors had to learn how to play piano. So it is a crime thriller and heist about a talented piano tuner's meticulous skills for tuning pianos leads him to discover an unexpected aptitude for cracking safes, turning his life upside down. Yeah. I'm not really a Leo fan. I think it's his eyes that creep me out. But he had to learn how to play piano, and Havana had to learn how to play piano. And they had like really rigorous piano lessons during filming. So
that sounds incredible.
The things that you learn for a heist film. All right. X-Men Season 2, X-Men 97 Season 2 was announced to premiere mid-2026 on Disney Plus and is picking up the 90s X-Men story that they have uncanny gifts to protect a world that hates and fears them. And this will continue from Season 1, where they're divided and thrown across different eras in time as they struggle to navigate their return home. Did anyone watch Season 1? I'm a live action X-Men fan, but I liked the 2000s X-Men's. I don't really like the newer ones. All right, I've said it.
Good thing Dylan's not here.
I know. Please feel free to still comment on that in chat. But today, A24 dropped a brand new trailer for a Robert Pattinson film called Primetime, where he is being Chris Hansen. And it's set in 2006 when To Catch a Predator became a thing. I'm really interested to see Robert Pattinson as Chris Hansen.
You know he did his homework.
Absolutely. Especially because later on this year, we also get Jeremy Strong as Mark Zuckerberg. So
I'm so excited.
Yeah,
I'm
same.
So excited.
This is directed by Lance Oppenheim. He's done some really interesting films that definitely have a look, including Sperm World, Some Kind of Heaven, and Ren Fair. Ren Fair is a series on HBO about this Ren Fair and this dude who has a god complex in Texas. Really interesting stuff.
It's beautiful.
If you haven't seen it. Not yet. I might
Sperm
get
World
to
is
it.
also beautiful. Just really different documentary.
Yeah,
It's stunning.
Really different storytelling and directing and vision.
Yes.
Okay, Wade says I might get to X-Men 97. Sure. Okay, so K-pop Demon Hunters has not been released on DVD formally, but the Criterion Collection actually announced that they are adding it to their collection, and it will be available December 31st, 2026 on Blu-ray and 4K Ultra HD. Pre-orders are available now, and a little bit about K-pop Demon Hunters is that it made history by becoming the first Netflix movie to rank #1 in the US weekend box office, specifically August 23rd, 24th, 2025. And it got 25 million in global ticket sales. So I think hopefully Netflix learns that maybe we should put more of our movies in theaters, because this could happen. Anyways.
I need to know how they select Criterion Collection, because how did this jump the line?
Well, this is exactly where I'm at.
Yeah.
So I needed to get down to the bottom of this. What is the Criterion Collection? Because I don't know if you guys see it at like Barnes & Noble or you've heard about it, but I'm going to break this down. Criterion Collection is a premium home video distribution company that's dedicated to preserving and releasing important classics and contemporary films from around the world. This is known as the gold standard of home media, as it sets the industry bar for film restoration, director-approved presentations, and in-depth bonus features. They have over 1,500 titles in their collection, and it ranges from silent films, art house, blockbusters, and spans over 100 countries, and has films from 1890s to the present. And the Criterion Collection was formed in 1984 as a special edition DVD release. The first film ever released on the Criterion Collection is the 1944 film that you might have heard of, Citizen Kane. They are known for their restorations, that they have direct director or estate of the director involvement to make sure that the audio and video was as the director created the film for, and it actually is the reason that DVDs have behind the scenes content.
Oh,
they were the first ones to feature things like audio commentaries, documentaries, interviews, and essays on the films. So
that's awesome.
If you like behind the scenes DVD featurettes, you have the Criterion Collection to thank. And each physical release that they have on DVD has custom artwork, and it has a special spine number on the DVD, which you can see there. The Criterion Collection has been dedicated to publishing important classic and contemporary films around the world, again, with award-winning original supplements. And some of the iconic films in their collection include Mulholland Drive, Do the Right Thing, Seven Samurai, and Portrait of a Lady on Fire. As far as what goes into selecting the Criterion Collection, it is making sure that whoever has also released other DVDs does not have similar features. I think that for Everything Everywhere All at Once,
they gave everything.
They gave everything to A24.
Right.
So I think that it would be some time until we can do like a retrospect look back on how Everything Everywhere influenced cinema and have a unique sit down.
That's exactly the film I was wondering. I was like, all right, I hear you, but Everything Everywhere All at Once? Hello?
Totally.
What?
Feel that.
Yeah.
Dude, this and Arrow Media absolutely ruled my childhood. We had a place in the mall called FYE. Yes.
FYE rip.
That sold their bundles and reissues on DVD and Blu-ray, and they were beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're a fan of the Criterion Collection, definitely look out. Every so often, they do massive sales that are like 40 to 50% off, and it gets wild.
It's a good time.
It is. It's a great time. There are some upcoming releases, including Hairspray. Yay! Yay! So the Cannes Film Festival wrapped up this week, and the Romanian director of the film Fjord won the 79th Cannes Film Festival with the Palme d'Or, which is the grand jury prize award. And this is the bee's knees. Jury prize went to The Dreamed Adventure, and Best Director was actually a tie this year.
Wild.
Which that is a very rare thing to have a tie.
Yes.
Because that means that they have to produce 2 trophies. Netflix announced this week that they're shifting gears, and that instead of releasing 50 new films or 50 new series a week, they're cutting that down, and they're revisiting the fact that subscribers are paying $27 plus a month for premium content, and that they need to match that. So Are they saying that some of the stuff that they had previously was not premium content? You decide. But this is a flag for filmmakers who have usually been able to get their films or their projects or their docuseries sold to Netflix, because Netflix is the streaming platform that is always looking for content. So this definitely is raising some flags and awareness with filmmakers as they are proceeding forth with their projects, that maybe Netflix isn't as reliable as a distribution source as it once was. Cine Gear is happening in Los Angeles next week. This is the Los Angeles NAB. It is a trade show and convention that is taking place on the Universal lot. It's really, really cool to have all of this film gear and the magic of cinema surrounding you. So it's outdoors and there's a lot of demos, there's networking, there's educational opportunities. Roger Deakins is usually walking around taking pictures and being of the people.
Right.
So really fun stuff.
This is specifically film focus. While it's called the Los Angeles NAB, it's just everything film gear, everything filmmaking and not broadcast.
Yes. So lots of camera demos, a lot of really big, fun things. I know it used to be free, but now it's $25.
Yep. Or
just reach out to your favorite brand and ask them if they can sponsor you. Sometimes they do. And then Zeiss just released these, the Pantop 65 line. So this is a 10 lens series of large format cinema primes ranging from 25 millimeters to 180 millimeters, all with a T2.2 aperture. They're aiming to get in with large format cameras such as the Arri Alexa 265, Blackmagic Design Ursa, Cine 17K 65, and the Fujifilm GFX Eterna 55. Large format films have been Oppenheimer, Dune, 2001 Space Odyssey, Nope, Sinners, just for reference. So really big, really, really large scope. And finally, it used to be free, Wade.
It did, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
And then they decided money was more important.
Yeah, I agree. It's frustrating. Okay, and then Paramount Skydance is acquiring Warner Brothers Discovery, just in case you hadn't heard. This has been ongoing for a year. It used to be Netflix, and then it turned to Paramount Skydance. This is currently valued at $111 billion, and on April 23rd, shareholders voted to approve the company's acquisition. Now, the acquisition was scheduled to be complete by September 30th. There's rules and regulations and fees all part of this, but they are pushing to try to have it done before July 15th, which is insane.
The bad place.
Since when? I know, Arco. Just some updates on the situation. As of this week, U.S. antitrust regulators are poised to approve Paramount's takeover of Warner Brothers. That is a shock. And Warner Brothers has secured a bondholder consent for the $110 billion sale to Paramount Skydance. And as of Monday, Ukraine became the first country to approve the deal. So it's got legs and it's got tractions. However, California Attorney General Rob Bonta has his hands full with conducting this very large-scale independent antitrust investigation, which is being backed by a coalition of California congressional lawmakers, which is focused on trying to figure out what the impact of this merger would have on industry jobs and how it would possibly prevent anti-competitive impacts on consumers. So they're looking at it from both how is it going to impact the industry and the people that work in it, and then also as a consumer, how is this going to affect you? This merger is actively being challenged not only in California, but in private antitrust lawsuits on behalf of streaming customers. They're not sure how much that is going to get some legs, but this would at least halt the deal for the meantime.
The more the merrier.
So a lawsuit from Bonta also could halt the deal indefinitely and definitely stall the September 30th and July 15th.
But he's got to be ready. He needs to have all of his ducks in a row before he presents.
Also, just adjacent, he is up for re-election really, really soon in Money Talks. So we will find out soon how this goes. All right. 11:36, handing it over to Courtney for some Spicy Monster film prep.
Yay.
Yay. Tell me more.
I will.
Don't we love it? I hope that they look into specifically how it impacts DJ Chogs. I agree. It's very important that we keep Chris in the loop. I love it when we kind of I love it when we kind of mostly almost entirely know how it will affect an industry, but yet it happens.
I know.
It's like we have insight into how this is going to go.
It's almost as if we've had this happen before. Okay, Spicy Monster. Let's talk about it. So Ashley and I made this short film 2 Sundays ago.
That's right.
Wow. Woo. 2 Sundays ago. And this prep is a little bit different, but as I said, I am always learning things of how to make our workflow a little bit faster. So you have seen me do film prep before. Is it being silly?
No, I got it.
Oh, cool. But let's jump in. I'm ready. Dun, 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 dun.
She's ready.
Okay. So here is Premiere. Yay.
So talk me through, like, I know you said you're doing film prep, but like what are you doing? What do you mean by film prep?
First, can you move us to the other side? Thank you. When I say film prep, I'm doing the assistant edit. I am getting us set up for success. That means organizing our footage, making sure that Premiere's, the workspace that I'm in is going to be set up so that Ashley and I can just make our edits super quick and get this thing out the door as fast as possible. And organization is queen. But the way I organize is a little bit different for this one. Like I said, I am always learning things, and fantastic. I hope you all learned something if you use Premiere. All right, so first we know that labels are a thing. If you did not know, you can color code on the side. You can right click, go down to label and pick your color. What you may not have known is that you can customize these colors. All right, let's do that. Because I love a good pink and blue. I don't like muted colors. I like bright things. Also, I'm a very visual color-based person. So if I see a color I'm familiar with, I know exactly what it's going to, and I don't really have to rewrite anything in my brain. So let's do that.
Really quick. So Wade, a little trick that we have is peer space. We look for, since we are going in and we're filming such tight turnarounds, we look for spaces that already are very production designed.
Yes, correct. So you cannot see, for some reason, it is not showing what I'm clicking on. But if you go to Premiere, your settings, and then go to labels, yeah, it's not showing.
Do you have your whole screen?
I do. Hold on, jump out of here. Let me do it again. Oh, we love it when this happens. Hold on.
Just leave and I'll...
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Just leave. Okay. All right, I'm good. But yeah, we do, like Ashley was saying, we do try to find rooms that are already done. So we have to do very minimal work and we can just jump in as the crew and get going, especially because time is money. Locations are the most expensive thing on a film set, bar none.
Yeah, and what I found is by having lighting already in the location.
Okay, let's try again.
And by having the set deck pretty much there that we can just bring in little touches, it saves so much time.
Yeah. And with this film, we were able to source a lot of it from home, which was great.
Art from home.
Art from home. All right, let's try this again. So we're going to go to Premiere. There we go. And settings and our labels. So these are all of our colors. I have changed the blue to bright blue and pink to bright pink, but you can set them any way that you'd like. You can change how Premiere also recognizes these things. So your audio will automatically be Caribbean, but you can change it. The one thing that I would be careful of is if you are not familiar with what these colors mean already, don't go in and start changing them, because then if you get lost and look up a tutorial and they're like, oh, well, this one is labeled this color, but you've already changed the color, then you'll just make yourself a little bit more confused. So we don't want to do that. But if you do want to customize, you can customize by hex code. You can go all over full RGB spectrum, which we love. All right, so I've already done that. Something that I do is if I am not currently using the folder, it is going to stay this color. If you start getting excited and changing all of the colors, it's really going to confuse you more, or that's what I found. So I'm only working with my footage and my sequences right now, which is why I have them pink, so that I do not get confused. Then the next thing I'm going to do is make sure that everything is labeled for our circle takes. We have decided that it is best to bring all of the footage, every single clip you possibly have, even if they are bum takes. You bring everything into Premiere and label it from there. The reason that I do that is because we used to label them in our folders and then bring stuff into Premiere. And when you're working with something like Sony or cameras that have complicated codecs, if you change the name of the camera in the folder, you'll never find it again and you'll never be able to link it. So it's better to just rename everything in Premiere.
Courtney has traumas with this. This is PTSD.
Can you tell?
This is a coping mechanism.
So I have it broken up by 3 scenes. This is a short film and there are 3 separate chunks. So I've broken it up like that. And I have labeled our circle takes as blue. Circle take for Ashley and I means 100% mark it, ship it, we are using it. But I also have these backup takes in here, which I think is better to just have instead of only bringing in the takes you know you're going to use. Because then if you don't do that, you got to go back in and re-import and do all this crazy stuff. So the easiest way to label, as I showed you. All right, so 3, what I'm going to do is I know we're doing 3B1, we're doing 3C1, 3D1, 2E1, F1. We'll just start there. Then I'm going to label these as aqua because I know they are my circles. So once I have all of my footage labeled the way that I want to, I'm going to set up my Pancake edit. If you are not familiar with what a Pancake edit is, it is essentially having 2 sequences open at once. We always make sure that we have one sequence that is for the footage we're working with and another sequence that is our master edit. So Spicy Monster is the sequence I currently have open. That is the master edit, because you don't want to start putting all the footage at the back and then you don't know where your edit starts and ends. So since sequences is the next thing I'm using, in our template, I always have different resolutions. We film in one of 3. It's either 1080, 2K, or 4K. I know that Ashley shot this in 4K, so I'm going to keep the sequence at 4K.
So our sequence should be at 1080.
I will set it to 1080. That's fine.
Yes.
That's easy. But another thing is I always make sure that I proxy everything before I drag anything into a sequence. Proxy means that we are going to crunch the size of the footage to something smaller so that it is workable and my computer does not hate me and my hard drive does not hate me. The easiest way to do that, I know you've heard some of these things before, but I'll just go in and show you, is we're going to right click any of our clips and we're going to go down to Proxy, Create Proxies. I do a quarter just to be safe. It really depends on your file size. You can get away with half. If you're shooting in 4K, you can do half and it'll knock it to 2. But I just prefer a quarter because things happen. And then once you hit OK, this will open Media Encoder and it will start your proxy process. While your proxies are going, you can go get coffee, grab a snack, any of the things that you need.
How important is the proxy part of the process?
It is vital. It needs to be done every single time. Even if you're, well, I would say the only exception is if you're working in 1080 because most computers now can just handle 1080. But when you're getting into 2K and higher, I just recommend doing a proxy. You're already, just set yourself up for success. You don't want to have your computer not be able to handle your footage and then you start skipping frames when you're trying to watch something. It's really tedious. Just get into the habit of creating your proxies up front. You do not ever have to worry about exporting with proxies turned on. So if I'm watching my footage, let's say this is our proxy button right here. This is automatically turned on, meaning if there are proxies made and I bring them into my sequence, I'm going to be watching the smaller file size. Premiere does this beautiful thing that when I go to export them, it immediately exports the full res. It does not ever export proxies. So you don't have to remember that. The only thing you have to remember is just make your proxies. Wonderful.
Proxies.
Following me so far?
I also want to just jump back. It's not necessarily necessary, but just in case you're wondering about labeling, can you just jump back into like scene 1, for example? Just really quickly want to cover this. If you see on the side, it says 1A1, 1A2, 1A3. That is the way that you label each of the takes. So 1A means that this is the first scene and it is the first shot. So 1A and then
take one.
And then you count up letters as you change the shots. So I think we got up to like K on one of these.
Scene 3 got up to We use I. I know most people don't use I because I looks like one, but we're the editors, so it's fine for us to do it.
Yeah.
There's no point in skipping it. Yeah, we got up pretty high on scene 3. But, all right, so now I have my sequences. Again, I have these 3 already in my template, and I just make the scenes from there. So Spicy Monsters open. Let's start with scene 1. I've already dropped some footage in here, but I'll show you this process as well. Right now, these 2 are together, but I want to pancake them so I can see them both at the same time. So if I click and drag, this will immediately undock it, and where it's highlighted purple is where it's going to drop. So now my scene 1 is up here and my main sequence is below. You're gonna have to format your window a little bit. This is where 2 monitors comes in handy, but we don't always have that.
Why do you want a pancake?
So that I can see everything at once. That way, if these are all of my working clips from scene 1, I can say, watch this one through, go, yep, like that one, and I can just copy and paste it into the main sequence, which I will get into in a second. But just having the footage, your working footage, somewhere else instead of on your main timeline where you're doing this, scrolling back and forth, trying to find that one clip that you had at that one point. Break it up into scenes and break it up into a pancake edit. It's just so much easier, I found. So now that I have this, I want to make sure that this box is highlighted, and I'm going to open scenes 2 and 3. So now I have all of my scenes. You can see these don't have any. Scene 2 has some stuff in it, but they don't really have anything in it. They're not cut down. They're not assistant edited yet. I'm just getting these open. And I also want to talk about A1, V1, A2, V2, V3, all like what are these? What on earth are these? These are so important to understand, and there's a lot of information out there that can be a little bit confusing, but I promise once you understand them, it's going to be much easier. Okay. Let me know if this makes sense. The far left side here, A1 and V1. For starters, we see that this cannot be selected. Normally there's a V1 and it's gone. The reason it's gone is because the stuff over here only relates to your source monitor, meaning it only relates to what is over here. So right now I have, in my project monitor, I have a sequence selected. I do not have a sequence selected. I do not have a clip selected. So you can see that there is nothing for it to move from this monitor to here because I don't have a clip, I don't have anything. But if I click on scene 1, and now I have a clip selected, now my V1 becomes available. So if you ever do not see that, it's because you don't have a clip in your project monitor to move over. So that being said, V1 and A1 are only referring to how you move footage from your source monitor to your sequence. That's it. Meaning, if I have this clip right here, V1 and A1 are selected, that means that when I click over here and I want to move this clip, I can use comma for insert, and it is going to insert it on these 2 layers because that's what's selected. But if I were to select something else and do it again, now it moves it to those corresponding layers. You following me so far?
Nice.
Yes? Okay. So that is the only thing that is referring to. So once you have your footage placed, you can go ahead and just ignore that. But it's track targeting, which is wonderful. These things in here, these are relating to what layers are being selected when you are doing shortcuts within your sequence. So we've moved one step further. We've moved into the sequence now. So I will show you. So I did the one, and now if I want to, let's say I don't want this audio down here to have a cut in it. I only want my main audio to have a cut in it. I have V1 and A1 selected, and I can hit my W key, which is my keyboard shortcut for slicing things. And now it is only affecting these top 2 layers. This is going to be really helpful if you're trying to do any sort of B-roll and you want to just cut that down or add a cut in there. You're not splicing all of your footage, just that one specific layer. I will say the one time that this gets overridden is if you are using a ripple edit. The reason is because a ripple edit is specifically paying attention to where the playhead is. It is going to ignore all of your track targeting. So even though I have V1 and A1, let's see, and I hit my Q key to do a ripple edit, it deletes the entire thing. So keep that in mind. but V1 and A1, very, very, very important. So when I go over to scene 2, let's say, and now I want to start adding all of my clips, what I would do, actually, let's go to scene 3. I have my highlighted blue ones. I have a couple, we'll just do a couple of them, of the takes that I know that we want to use. So 3C1 and 3B1. I can go up into scene 3, use my comma key, which is going to be my insert key. And now it's just inserted all of the footage. So that's another fast way, instead of just dragging and dropping all of your footage into your sequence. We don't need to do that.
I like drag and dropping.
It doesn't need to be difficult. I know you do, but nope. So then once we've done this, you would assume, okay, well now if I want to bring in the audio sources from that, I could just track target the audio. Then in theory, that would make sense to me, right? And I would do the same thing. So if I have, let's say I want this audio and I want it to go under this clip, the period key is going to be the one that you use. But look, it inserts the audio, which it shouldn't, but it does. I'm not sure if that's just a Premiere quirk, but what I do to then paste all of my audio that I need is I just lock that audio layer. So we've got 3C1, let's see. That one doesn't even have audio. I need to fix that. And then I will just do 3B1 and then make sure that my A1 is selected, lock this, and now I've dropped my audio. And so I will just keep ticking through and adding all of the audio underneath the video. That is step 1. So like I said, understanding A1, V1 is very important because that is going to communicate how you get your footage from your source monitor into your sequence much faster. With me so far?
Yes.
Okay. I've got 8 minutes. Amazing.
You've got like 6 minutes.
6 minutes. Once my footage is in here, the next thing I'm going to do is sync all of my audio. I have a keyboard shortcut, but if you don't have one, you can just select, right click, and hit synchronize. But I will just select the clip and Control S, which is the one that I've made, and it'll immediately sync it to track 1. So syncing audio is the next part. I haven't even touched any of the cut down. None of it. We're not there yet because it just doesn't matter. You don't want to start getting into it. I know it's very exciting. Ashley and I are always like, just throw some footage in there and figure it out. But I have done an entire short film that I didn't sync the audio. I assumed you could just do it after. And I mean, you can, but I was really upset.
This is why films take me longer to edit now, is because I'm not allowed to touch the edit until we're synced, until we're assistant edited. I wanted to edit this all last week.
Yeah, and we were busy. So now that we are at the point where we have our audio synced, now we move into text-based edit. We have auto transcribe turned off, but if you do not, text-based edit is going off of your transcription. So the way that we can do that, if you are starting at the beginning of your project, import, there will be an automatic transcription button up here. Make sure that's toggled on. Then you just set it, forget it. You never have to worry about it. All of your clips will be done. If you were already in this process and you have not had that, that's totally okay. Then we want to go to our window. Make sure our text panel is pulled up. It's going to pop up over here. And if it is not transcribed, there will be a pop-up that will say transcribe this sequence or transcribe this clip. So you can easily do it after the fact. Okay, so now that I'm here, the first 2 things I look at when I am text-based editing, I'm looking for action and I am looking for cut. Because that is going to be the start and the end of our clips. That's not going to talk about anything in between. So now this is action and my playhead has already moved there. I'm just going to go and listen.
Set, action.
Just to make sure that it's right. Cue, gone. Now I'm going to scroll down and look for the next one. I can click the word action.
Action.
Ashley said it. Click, cue, done. And I will go through the entire film this way, or all of my clips this way. This one is different. This is an exception to the rule, and this is paying attention is also really important, not just looking for the words and deleting them. Something happened in the middle where we either ran a take and we didn't call action, or there wasn't a slate. Maybe we tail slated, there wasn't anything verbal, or maybe we just ran something and then started in the middle. So the fact that this is in the middle of a paragraph, I'm going to be more inclined to scroll back. let's just mute that real quick, and see what's going on. See, she's filming. There's stuff in here that is usable, but we didn't hear action until down here. So I would not want to just delete everything that's in front of this clip. So paying attention to where action sits in paragraphs and what comes before it is very important. And we can see on our sequence that there is footage before here.
New View Creative Studio says sync first, then get your cuts, layers, etc. later. Multicam and audio syncs can take some time. If done in production, it makes Premiere much quicker to AV link and sync quick.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And when you do not have something like a wonderful time jammer to sync, this also works as well. So then I've gone through and I will do all of my action points. Then I will do the same and I will search cut. It's a circle, it's a cut. And we can see that it is at the back of my clip. I will use my keyboard shortcut E. So it'll be about right there. Chop off the back. So then I go through and I look for all of that in every single scene to make sure that the front end, back end's chopped. And then I will do a fine tooth comb where I will now start looking for words because I know the script. I was in it. Obviously, that was my face. I know what belongs in there and what doesn't. So I'll start combing through and deleting chunks, but also reading. Ashley is very good at speaking her notes while she has the camera rolling. So she'll say like, circle, that's a cut. We know immediately that one's used. On Slate, that was also used, which is why it's a take we have marked to be used. But also she'll say, all right, Ashley, use the end of that. And when she says things like that, they're cues for you as the editor to know which pieces she wants. So now let's say we've done all of our cuts and we want to take specific parts. You do not actually have to sit here and splice your clips. I don't have to do this. I want this. And now I'm going to highlight this and do all the things. You don't have to do any of that. We're just going to select an in and out point and make our life easier. So first, to do this, you want to make sure that you do not have any clip selected. If you have the clip selected, you're going to copy and paste the entire thing. So let's just set an in point here, and let's say our out point is here, and that's what we want. I'm going to Command C, and then I'm going to Shift Command V into our main timeline. Now it has only taken that one little chunk, and it has not spliced this at all. So my clip can stay entirely intact, which is good, which is very good. But like I said, you want to make sure you do not have a clip selected. If for some reason you do already have an in point or you have a clip selected, you can just click on any of the empty layers. Your clip will no longer be selected. If this endpoint is not something you want and you want to copy and paste something else and you go to do it and you're like, I'm still getting this endpoint, well, you can easily delete those up here by doing Option, I imagine it's Alt on PC, X. And once you do Option X, your in and out point is now deleted and you can start fresh, or you could easily just click anywhere else on your sequence and start creating it again. But if you want to get rid of it overall, Option X is going to be your way. And final thing is that if I want to be scrubbing through this footage a lot quicker than what I have currently, so let's say I'm watching and I want to move back a little bit, I can hit J, and now we will start returning backwards. I can click it multiple times and it will really start speeding through. You can see in text space. So that's a quick way to navigate through your stuff. And I can just hit spacebar wherever I want to stop. And then finally, if I want to move forward and Ashley's like, wait, can we go forward a few seconds? I can click L and I can just fast forward through this and find the exact moment that I need that she's looking for, create my in and out points again, and start working that way.
Hey!
Yeah, so you can see pancake editing, very important. And keeping these organized, knowing why your A1 and V1 are what they are and which ones mean which things are very important to make this speedy.
Speedy.
And that is our assistant edit. Now I will have to go in and actually do all of these things.
Yay!
But yes, that's the process.
Thank you so much for showing us all of that. I learned so much from you every week.
Same.
Nice.
I do.
That's good.
Ashley's like, I learn so much.
I do. I learned so much about why I get yelled at.
You don't get yelled at.
I don't get yelled at. I just get a stern talking to that things don't have to be this hard. Umo, thank you so much for being here. We really, really appreciate you. And we are so excited to hear how your adventure to TwitchCon goes.
Yes. We're so excited for you.
Arco, thank you for being here. Just a couple quick notes. Today is our season finale of season 5. Aww. We were going to spend time doing a recap, but we didn't because we got renewed for season 6.
Woo!
So we will be back with you next Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific. Thank you, Jacob.
Thank you.
The laptop support sticker seems like such a deep meaning with the skull on it.
There's a lot. This one says, have the day you deserve.
Have the day you deserve. That's right. So we will be back for season 6, episode 1 next Wednesday at 11 a.m. Hi, Clever.
Hi.
Jay, thanks for stopping in.
Very excited.
And Young, thank you for being here. Wade, Jacob, thank you both so much for
so glad you enjoyed it.
amazing
Needs to be fluid.
And
really
keeping
does.
us safe. So if you haven't already, join the Adobe Live Discord, and under active shows, please go check out CA in LA. And our week 12 challenge to you is to spend 10 minutes outside. You've got an entire week to do it.
Going to your vehicle, like to and from your job. No, go sit outside or walk outside for 10 minutes. Intentional 10 minutes.
That's right. Thank you, Kerr. Thank you. Thank you all so much for tuning in week after week. It really means the world to be able to share our workflows and talk about what's going on in the industry, because things are rapidly changing. They've been rapidly changing since the pandemic, honestly. And after the strikes and with AI, it is really wonderful to have an hour to celebrate film and talk about what's going on and share workflows. In that Discord, please let us know stuff that you would like to see. If you're enjoying the format of it, if you would like to see more tutorial, if you would like us to do special episodes like we did with the Christmas episode, getting to like break down fun Christmas films and talk about specific things that they do that's special to production, like Forced Perspective and Elf. Because Jacob, that was really cool.
And within tutorial, if there's something that like, hey, can you please go over this? I'm struggling. Any of those things, please let us know.
Yeah. And please make sure that you like this video. It goes a long way for Adobe seeing that people do want to watch film education and tutorials in Premiere and Adobe Express.
Yes.
DH, hello, and thanks for tuning in. I'm Ashley. This is Courtney. We are CA in LA, Courtney and Ashley in Los Angeles. We're best friends, filmmakers, musicians,
And variety streamers.
If you want to check us out more, we will be on Twitch at twitch.tv/CA_in_LA, doing some music and doing some film talks. And we have tons of music over on Spotify, Apple Music, all the music's under CA in LA. And if you want to check out some of our 200 films, go check out our YouTube channel, CA in LA. Thank you so much again for being here. Like the chats about industry and more techniques, etc. Thank you. Cool. Thanks, Jay. Thank you all so much again for being here, Ohana. Appreciate you. Jacob, Wade, and Adobe, thank you for having us. We will see you next Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific. Take care.